Alrighty, how you going? Cool, so today I just wanted to have a quick chat about this stove. Quite often I usually use a Trangia. I've been using one of them for a long time. But these gas canisters are pretty cool. Main thing is too, you can get them so they're like this one, it all fits into one. So today we're just going to have a look at this one here. It's the Campmaster, they're called. I'm pretty sure you get these from like Kmart and stuff. I actually bought these, I think I got 3 of them for $50, second hand, but they were basically all brand new from good old fashioned marketplace on Facebook. But they're about $60, I think it is brand new. The cool thing about these is, they sort of come in this little kit and all that. But what I've actually done is this little support stand, like folds up. On my other one, I've actually just taken out a tiny little groove out of here, and then it's just so that it clips onto here. So when it's folded up, it goes like that, and then all I do is groove just in there out a little bit. You'll see if you haven't played with one, and then that just makes that sit flat. What that does is you can actually have a 230 gram canister, clip it on, and you put this thing onto here like that, and then you stick it all over upside down. When you've done that, then this actually sits down flat. And then see how that's just protruding just a smidge? Well, that's what that little bit there is. And that literally, it all just goes in. So you got like a fully contained little thing, little setup. And that, including the canister, I think it's, let's have a look at the weight. Including a brand new canister, 780 grams. So not too bad, seeing as it's a big canister, that's 200 and something grams as it is. So we'll go over just the way it comes from the packet sort of thing, like that. So that whole thing there is 450 grams. Which isn't exactly light. So if you do just have like a normal, you can get like a 360, there's heaps of different types, obviously out there, but they're usually anywhere between, I think some of the lightest I've ever seen, like little gas burners are, about 60, 70 grams, up to around that 100, 120. So if you went like 100 grams, and then you also had a titanium pot and everything, another like 100 odd grams. So, you call that 250 grams. So this is an extra couple hundred grams basically for this system. So it's not exactly light, but it still is pretty light really for what you're doing. Today I just thought we'd have a look at how good this thing burns, how much it actually uses per burn for half a litre. So I thought this is a brand new canister, 230 gram canister, which actually weighs 367 grams. So I thought we'd see how much gas we actually use for doing a burn, and then we'd be able to sort of like roughly work out how many burns it is for a can, which is pretty cool. So let's do that. So this just literally clips on. The thing is, these actually come with like a piezo igniter, the whole shebang, and what you're about to see is they are pretty efficient too. So we're in my kitchen, obviously, not out in the bush today. And it does actually have the marks on the inside as well, which is pretty cool. Not that I can see great without the light on. So yeah, it's like half a litre, maybe a little bit more. Put the lid on. And that literally just it's actually got a couple of grooves that slots in and sort of locks itself into place, which is good. And you turn it up and look back. So we'll see how long that takes. From memory, it doesn't take very long at all. Anyway, we'll fast forward to the next bit and we'll see how much it uses. So that was 37, 38, 39. So it's about 2.5 minutes to do it, to do half a litre, which I think is pretty good. Pretty cool. Do that, 2.5 litres, or is it 2.5 minutes roughly? About 2 minutes 30, 2 minutes, maybe always 40. And we'll see how many grams it used. So 360, so it used 7 grams of fuel. Seven grams doesn't seem like a lot, does it? So that's pretty cool. So I'm actually gonna probably do that a couple of times and then sort of work out from there. But it's meant to have 230 grams of fuel in it, which is about, so the canister is like 130 grams. So what's that, like 40? That's pretty good. So you probably do like 30 or so boils. Between 30 and 40 boils. That's a lot. It seems like a lot. But I'm gonna do a few more on the side and I'll get back to you. Alright, so coming up to boil number 3 that I've done. Getting pretty close. I will sort of average it out, see what it sort of works out to be. It's just about to go. And there it goes. So it's about 2 minutes 50 really. Yes, I think we'll go with, I think my first one about 2 minutes 30 is a bit of a dream. The last two have been 2 minutes and 50 seconds, so basically 3 minutes to boil half a litre of water. Which again, I think is pretty good. It's not very, it's pretty quick. And then we'll see. So now that's it. Let's throw that again. So it's 350 grams. So in a few boils, we've gone from 367 down to 350. So what's that? We'll call it like about 6 grams per boil. So in that can, you've got at least 30 boils, at least. Maybe even, pushing 40 boils. So that's pretty cool. So what you could actually do is when you're out bush, if you wanted to, if you don't know how to work out how many boils you got left, you could probably just write on your can. Just say, we've done 3 boils now, so you've got, 20 or 25, 30 boils left. That's a pretty cool way of doing it. But yeah, the point is, one of these bigger canisters, when you're going out bush, because I was sort of thinking to myself, I'm like, I've never really tested one from brand new through. And just because I'm going away for 5 days, 5 nights, whatever it is, 6 days, I was like, oh, maybe I should try and test it out. So it turns out one of these canisters is oodles. When you're really only doing like maybe a litre a day. So really that's only 2-3 boils a day. sort of thing. It's pretty good. So basically one of these big canisters for me would be good for like 10 days in the bush. Sort of thing, at least like very comfortably 10 days, which is pretty good seeing these are like $15. The other thing is too, these Campmasters, I think I said before, but yeah, they're still like about $60 at Kmart, or they are still. So not too bad really for what you're getting, and it all goes into one, so it makes it a nice easy package. Literally, if they made this out of titanium, so it was a bit lighter, and I mean the stove part, you know, let's see how much this weighs. So that's 190 grams. So that's probably where a big, you know, like 100 grams of weight is saved when you use a different stove, because it doesn't have all this plastic and stuff on it. That's definitely the big difference, I think, between the lighter sort of setups and something like this. But I mean, this pot here, that's 190 grams, whereas, you know, but that's a litre pot sort of thing, so that's a pretty big pot. So really, like, that's probably not too bad in as far as like how much the pot weighs. So it's probably got more to do with this stove, and obviously, you know, if you're taking this with you, there's an extra 30 grams. For really, you don't really need it, especially when you're using these bigger ones. That's pretty stable anyway, really. Anyway, so it's just a couple of thoughts there on a different stove that some people might feel like going and buying. Pretty cheap. And again, I think because these are like a Kmart and all that, you can find them second hand, like what I did on Marketplace for next to nothing, which obviously just saves a bit of the old bacon at the moment. As we all know, in Australia at the moment, diesel and everything, it's just, everything's out of control really, how expensive everything is. Anyway, I hope you like that one. Catch us on the next one. Cheers.